everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Megan, and today I'm going to be discussing the new Peacock series called The 5-Star Weekend, so let's get into it. I was on vacation when this TV series came out, and so I watched the first 5 episodes with my cousin because she really wanted to watch it. And then we had to watch the last 3 on our own, and I had really low expectations for this just because if you saw my book review on this book, it took me like a month to read it because I felt like it was so boring, but I wanted to push through it, and I eventually got through it. But I was actually kind of surprised on the changes that they made because I feel in the book it was like a cool concept, but it just like wasn't the most entertaining concept. But the thing I really liked about the book is that Caroline, the daughter of Hollis, she uses this weekend as an opportunity to create like a video or like a mini documentary for school because she's in college. I think she's trying to get an internship, or she already has an internship. Either way, it's a project for school, and so they did not incorporate that into the TV series, which I thought would be really cool to incorporate in the TV series because it is a video project, and she learns so much about her mom with these friends of hers that she never really knew about prior, because ever since her father had passed away, her and her mom has a tumultuous relationship, and she like does not stay in contact with her mom very good. And so Hollis ends up paying Caroline to come out for the weekend to videotape and to take photos for her website, and she ends up making this really cool video, and it is such a learning journey in the book that I thought that would be a pivotal thing for the TV series, just because I think in movies or TV series in that particular medium, a lot of times there's some type of like lesson or some type of journey that these characters are going through to either, grow or change a perspective or be more empathetic. And I feel like that didn't quite deliver in this TV series. Granted, I didn't watch the last 2 episodes because I just like couldn't keep my attention to it, honestly. It was just getting boring. If I like didn't watch it with my cousin, I don't think I would have watched it, or at least got through the amount of episodes that I did, just because it was boring. I also think the acting was not that good. I don't know why, but I feel like it lacked. I don't know if it's the writing where maybe certain characters didn't get much depth, because I feel in the book, specifically Caroline is very fleshed out in the book. And some of the other characters are, you kind of understand because you get more of a backstory in the book than you do in this TV series. I was just surprised on the way that they approached it, where they're all on the island for 8 episodes and then they have flashbacks, whereas it's opposite in the book. You don't really get all the island stuff until the back half of the book. And so I was kind of surprised on how little they gave background of the characters to make you understand or help you understand the different personalities of each one. I really liked the lady who played Brooke. I thought she did phenomenal in the series because she is kind of like a kooky character in the book. I wish there was more Tatum and her husband, because Tatum and her husband are in the book a lot. When they do go out in public, Tatum secretly goes away and meets with her husband and Jack for meals, and Hollis actually ends up going to one of those. However, they didn't really show that in the TV series. Maybe they showed it in the last 2 episodes, which I did not watch, but in the earlier episodes when they were shopping, Hollis did not go, and so I was kind of surprised that they didn't show that, because that helps develop the relationship that Jack and Hollis have, which in the first 6 episodes, you don't really grasp that because Jack is really not around that much as he pops up in the book. One of the biggest changes that they made was Gigi knowing that Hollis's husband was married. She does not know in the book until the very end, till he breaks it off with her. And she decides to go on the weekend, I think mostly for closure. But they did not show that in the series, so I think they make her look way worse in the series. And I feel like that does a disservice to her character, because she's in the dark about it all. Like, she had this relationship with this man, and he was married and had his own family. And she didn't find out about that until the end. And it just sucks that they had to change that part, because I think you can understand her character better if they would have kept it how it was in the book, and they did not do that. Another change that they did, which, I don't know, I just feel like they're making these pointless changes. When I was watching it with my cousin, I was just like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, the girl that Drew Ann's client doesn't play soccer. She plays tennis. And she's like, why do they make stupid changes like that? I was like, I have no idea. I don't know why they make stupid little changes. It is very easy to believe someone to step down due to mental health in an independent sport like tennis. That is high pressure. Whereas if you're playing a team sport, it is less likely that someone's going to step down for mental health. In this case, soccer. Like, it's just, like, why would you change, like, unrealistic things? Like, when it's not, like, it just blows my mind. I'm like, this is where writing gets really terrible, is that you just decide to change a plot just for the sake of changing it. I don't know if it's because of the World Cup this year and they filmed it last year, that maybe they're like, well, let's just change it to soccer because the World Cup is, like, no, like, it does not make sense. Like, if you went with tennis and you went with the golf storyline, like, that is very believable as audience. Like, we're not stupid as an audience. Maybe I'm overreacting, but there's just some things in this and, like, other TV series where I'm just like why change it? Like there's no point of you changing it for it to not make sense. Anyways, the other thing that they changed too is Tatum has a son. So Dylan in the TV series is actually Tatum's son, and they did not do that. They made Audrey, whatever her name is, the daughter. She is not related to any of them in the book, okay? Dylan and her have a baby together because I think they were together in high school and they end up getting pregnant at 18 or 19. So they're, like, constantly on and off. And also she's crazy in the book. And Dylan and Caroline actually have a moment. So they know each other because they had a moment also in high school. But they act like they don't know each other in TV series, and that's false. So I don't know why they changed that too, because Dylan and Caroline do have, like, a little bit of a storyline. And yeah, I just feel like they made them, like, super naive and everything. I feel like they were so mature in the book, and they, like, watered them down. I don't like that. I don't like when you water down characters in stories, unless you're, like, totally creating the character. If you're using a book as a guideline, there's no need to water down characters. There's no need for it. Anyways, one of the things I did appreciate about the TV series, from what I saw, is the banter. I appreciate specifically at the beginning when they are at, like, breakfast, where Drew Ann, Tatum, and Brooke are there, and Drew Ann and Tatum have this like weird side-eye with each other, or Tatum ends up putting something in her tea or whatever drink it was, and Tatum does play pranks on Drew Ann, but she did a better prank in the book where she put, like, rubber snake in her bed because Drew Ann ends up staying in, like, the guest house area. So I do appreciate the banter that they had between the girls, because that's kind of how it was in the book. So I'm really glad that was something that they stayed true to it. Like, I was smiling, and my cousin's like, why are you smiling? I'm like, because this is, like, true to the book. Like, they actually did something that was true to the book at the very beginning. Then it kind of, like, flattened out later on. But I was just really happy about that part. I think the casting was actually pretty good. I pictured Caroline similar to Morgan in Nobody Wants This. So they had a brunette and someone who's young, even though she is, like, 21 or 22. I just expected someone kind of carried themselves as older and more mature, because that's kind of how Caroline is in the book. I think she's kind of that way because she is in an affair with an older man. And so, like, that's a whole nother storyline in the book. And it kind of sucks that they didn't show that, because they would have two, you know, affair storylines for you to see. I also feel like Gigi and Hollis's husband, which I can't think of his name at the moment, did not have a believable romance in the TV series. I think it was hindered by her knowing that he's already married. If they totally did not do that and they showed the romance between the two, I think it would be more believable, but they totally butchered that, in my opinion. I just feel like it could have been better. I think that's all my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think, because I feel like it was kind of boring, but maybe people like this type of TV series similar to, like, Sweet Magnolias or Virgin River, which I'd never watched Virgin River, but I've seen Sweet Magnolias. And so sometimes it's just one of those, like, I guess, like, warm-hearted, lighthearted TV series. So I think that one's definitely for those people. I'm normally someone who never watches a show and does things in the background like laundry or cleaning, but I feel like this is a show that you could do that with, because I like to be present watching TV shows or movies. I don't like to be on my phone or clean or anything like that, but I feel like this show would be one of those. So let me know your thoughts. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.